This interview is brought to you by Bird Up Coaching and Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self and the 21-Day Challenge. If you're an entrepreneur or a high achiever and you feel stuck or overwhelmed or like things aren't just going your way and you're not in flow, you're not being your greatest possible self, then the 21-Day Challenge could be the perfect fit for you. What we'll do over 21 days is you'll get clear on your purpose, your life purpose. You'll get clear on what you are about, what is your vision, your mission, your strategy, objectives. And then we'll break that down into bite-sized steps so that you can take it on, you can tackle it on a daily basis, and you can make daily progress on your biggest priorities. So you'll dial in your habits, your morning and nighttime routines, and you'll be able to become your greatest possible self. So that's the 21-Day Challenge. And if you are up for it, send me a message, chris@beyourgps.com. Would love to hear from you and hear how you are taking on your 21-Day Challenge. Next up is the iTunes Review of the Week. And this iTunes Review of the Week is by Crystal Ray. And Crystal says, Chris is amazing. I absolutely love him, and I really, really love his energy. He is truly passionate about what he does, and I love what makes this show unique. Such an inspirational podcast. So thank you so much, Crystal. I appreciate you. You're a superstar. And if you want to give us a review, go to beyourgps.com/iTunes, and you can do that, or you can search Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self on iTunes or on Facebook and give us a review there. And definitely subscribe so you stay up to date on all the latest episodes and all the greatest things that we got coming out, okay? Very, very good. So the next part is going to be the woman of the hour. It's Faye. She's been on the show before. She rocked it. She's amazing. She has these incredible systems of transformation, incredible process and way of life. And you're going to be finding out about that and the mindset about how to really embody stepping into your greatest possible self, living it, being it, eating, sleeping, breathing it all the time. And she is absolutely a pioneer helping people to step into their greatest possible self. So you are going to get so much value from this. You're going to love it. So stay tuned throughout the next hour. She's going to be sharing the gold. It's going to be a lot of fun. She's coached Olympic figure skaters, all kinds of amazing stuff. She's an inspirational, motivational, transformational human being and teacher, and you definitely want to stay tuned, okay? So enough of my accolades about Faye, how awesome she is. Let's hear her intro, and then I'll bring her on in a second, okay? Coach Faye, founder and creator of I Imagine Life, the movement that helps today's individuals transition into the humans of tomorrow. She's a former Olympic figure skating coach, best-selling author, international speaker, performance mastery coach. It's her mission to study, implement, and develop the tools and strategies of life mastery to inspire, empower, and teach people these tools so that we can ultimately enjoy fulfilling, meaningful lives, realize our dreams, inspire others, and contribute to the evolution of universal consciousness. And Faye is here with us today to rock the house. Faye, you ready to rock this?
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, that's right. I'm giving that applause for you, Faye. You are a superstar. You're an awesome, awesome human being. Thank you so much for coming on today. We're live on Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self, and we're here to help our audience step into their greatest possible self with the wisdom, the knowledge, the experience that you've had, and what you recommend as the steps, as the process, as the path that you've come to learn and know to become our greatest possible self. So thank you so much for being here, superstar. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how energizing you are. And I was speaking this morning in school, and I had, 60 kids, teenagers.
Yeah.
But when you know how they are motivated, some are not motivated. And you're like, oh, giving it all. And they're like, okay, bring it on.
Right? I know, like.
Exactly. And you know how it is. I mean, it's like follow the leader thing.
Yeah.
So if the leader is motivated, then the whole class is going to be motivated.
Yeah.
You have one leader who is like, whatever, I'm going to challenge you, anything you say. And the whole class is like, that's how we're going to be. And so seeing you, hearing your voice is like, that's it, snap out of it, come on, step up, you can do it. So I really, really appreciate you. You're incredible, Chris. Thank you for inviting me. It's always an honor.
Thank you, Faye. We're gonna have a blast. This is so much fun. So let's dive right into the theme of the day, which is defining moments. So Faye, how has this concept of defining moments made a difference and impacted your life?
Okay, I'd like that again. I kind of like a little bit.
Hmm.
Yeah, I lost the connection a little bit.
Are you back now? Can you hear me now?
I'm back. I'm
Okay.
back. Yes, yes. The
Defining
question.
moments. What what does defining moments mean for you? How has it impacted your life?
Defining moments. Okay. I love defining moments. Defining moments is the moment of suck, right? Okay, my biggest suck moment,
Yeah.
my biggest defining moment, the suck moment was the moment that I dreamed for 15 years,
Mm.
that I worked for 15 years. And I thought that was going to be something that's going to make my life better. The moment that was going to improve everything, give me my self-worth, confidence, and money. I mean, you name it. And I never expected that achieving your dream was going to be, and that being coaching silver medalist.
Wow. Wow.
So my dream was to coach, and my dream was to coach a medalist. I accomplished exactly that. I coached a medalist and I coached at the Olympics. I just didn't expect that getting it was going to be getting nothing that I wanted. And because my student made mistakes, and I thought that if I was going to coach a medalist at the Olympics, then I'm going to be fulfilled, happy, I'm going to be good enough. I didn't realize that I could feel less than ever, be have so much anxiety and fear and not feel good enough, not feeling good enough while accomplishing that. Because my student fell down and she didn't win the gold. She lost the gold and got the silver. And that really showed me that you can achieve basically what you want and you never get the happiness, which chase this outside results, the status, the image, those things, and think that those things going to give us happiness. And the magic of spirit is that it'll give you all you want, and it will show you how it's not what you wanted.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I love it. Faye. So that was beautiful. You know, you coached someone to be a silver medalist, and because it wasn't I'm guessing it's because it wasn't exactly how you wanted it to look. It was an achievement that people dream of, you know, their wildest dreams, to either be a medalist or to coach a medalist. And like you felt like, man, it isn't enough. It wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what I expected. And in that moment, you got to learn how to take something that felt like the biggest disaster, the biggest loss, the biggest heartbreak for you and for, you know, your silver medalist, and turn it into a lesson, turn it into wisdom, turn it into, hey, what is the gift here? What's the true underlying thing? Like, life sent me this. Life delivered this beautiful gem to me for a reason, and we're gonna find out what it is. And you totally, you know, turned that around. You know, that's a 180-degree turn from where you were and being in such, you know, pain and suffering and anxiety that you were when it happened, to now saying it was probably the best things, or one of the best things that ever happened to you, because it helped you step into who you are today.
It was the best one.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard the moment when it's happening. When it's happening, it feels like it's happening to you.
Yeah.
But it truly was, because if you're really stepping in onto the space of learning journey, and then you see that it's a lesson and it's an opportunity for growth and expansion, and our purpose on this planet as spiritual beings It's not attainment of stuff and things, degrees, money, houses, and all of those things. But the purpose of our lives is really growing in our divinity.
Yeah.
And it takes some time to deal that. And I'm very grateful for the opportunities in my life to be teaching the kids and the younger generation to grow in their divinity early on, instead of learning it through such painful lessons.
Wow, so
And
powerful.
it doesn't mean that there will be no painful lessons. I mean, we grow through pain,
Right.
and that's absolutely true. And pain is a necessary, unavoidable side effect. But suffering is optional.
That's right. That's right. It's like suffering is the holding on to the pain, is, wishing why me when the pain is happening, rather than saying, what do they say? Try me or something like that. Why me instead of try me? Like, try me, bring it on. Like, I will rise above. I will overcome. I will, break through. I will find the lesson. I will stand in my love, stand in my faith, in my belief, in my, self mastery and commitment to this journey. So I love that, Faye. I love it. And this is so powerful, such a powerful start. So for anyone who's just connecting with you and meeting you for the first time, tell us a little bit more about what you're working on today, I Imagine system, and what you're all about, your life, what you stand for.
Well, you know what I imagine, Sam, because you have experienced it yourself.
Yes.
So I think it's probably even more powerful if you share what imagines are, because it's one thing, I've created it and I am crazy passionate about it, and I can talk about it for hours, but I'm biased. And you are not biased because you haven't created it, but you have experienced the impact of Imagines yourself.
Yeah. So for me, I used the system mainly. It was at the end of last year. I was really going through some transitions in my life. Really felt like at the lowest point in a lot of ways in my journey, and I had some really conflicting energy coming my way. Some not healthy, toxic stuff, and I was using this system, and not to necessarily deal with that stuff, but at the same time, I was using this system. And basically, what it is, it's like creating a blueprint for my life and how I get to my greatest possible self. So there's the image in your background. It's like a triangle, right? It's like a pyramid rising to the top. And so for me, like, I had to work my way up these levels and these different qualities and characteristics. Every one of the steps is a different aspect, a different attribute, whether it's nurturing, whether it's kindness, generosity, loving, whatever it might be. Like, there's all these different steps to go through to be able to get to my greatest possible self. And it's a lifelong process, because it's all about, it's not about, hey, let's study this thing and then move on with life and then never think about it again. It's about a daily practice, a weekly, monthly, yearly, lifelong practice to study these different attributes and meditate on them, and think about and really ponder and ask yourself, how does this quality show up in my life? How could I grow in this quality more? Like, one of the big ones for me was nurturing. So I made for 2018, I made 2018 the year of nurturing, because it had come up on my I Imagine blueprint as one of my steps to go through. And so I set a declaration into the world that that's who I'm going to be for the entire year. Now, I'm not saying anyone has to do necessarily that, but I messaged like over 100 people saying, I am committed to nurturing this year. This is who I'm being. This is how I'm showing up. What are you committed to? How are you committed to showing up? What are you mastering this year? Who are you being this year? So that was really huge. And, lots of amazing things have happened to me this year, really stepping into my own personal worth and value, attracting the woman of my dreams, freaking girlfriend who was just like out of this world, awesome and so amazing, and just like moving into places in my life where I have access to so many more opportunities, because I'm taking the time to nourish and nurture myself. And this is just my path, and how I've taken the time to journal about it and think about these concepts and meditate on them, so that I can be who I know to be. I can be the greatest possible self version of me, instead of like trying to be like strategic about it. Like, okay, who is like who is someone who I want to be like, like Jim Rohn, right? Okay, how do I be like more like Jim Rohn or Grant Cardone? How do I be more like Grant Cardone? How do I make millions like Grant Cardone? That's cool, but it's always modeling someone else. It's always looking at someone else to try to imitate them rather than going within to cultivate the seeds of who I am and who I'm committed to being. And so with the system, the Imagine system, I was really able to start noticing what are the qualities that I'm committed to growing in through the blueprint that you help people discover, Faye. You take people through these blueprint sessions where, each person gets a customized like roadmap of what are the important values for them to develop in and grow in. And so like through that process, I really got a clear vision of how does my soul want to evolve? What is missing in my life right now that I want to focus on, that I want to develop to become my greatest possible self?
Right. That the process starts with the blueprint, and actually going to offer it. People that watch the session today, if they opt in on my website, they will get the free session. I'm going to give that to them for free.
Awesome. Thank you.
And so imagine stands for I am, imagine, magnetize, and intent. And it actually is, Michelle, it actually is a deck of 50 cards.
Wow.
So it's cards, and each card comes with a quality of the high self, the quality of your best self. And there are different qualities. And so the blueprint that Chris was sharing with you guys is choosing 12 qualities that you feel that you haven't really worked on or that are not strong in you. And you're choosing 12 of those qualities and to improve on. And they align in exactly in order of this pyramid. And they would actually even show you what your life purpose is. So, and then you know exactly what to focus on, which quality to focus on at a time, one at a time. And what they share is that each of these cards, each of these imagines, they are coasters.
Yes.
So I'm on patience here today.
Yep.
And so there are coasters, really beautiful ones.
Yes.
And there is a water bottle that comes with it. So you actually charge your water on this coaster. And every time you drink this water, and this water becomes the quality that you're charging it on. And so every time you drink this water, every time you touch this bottle, you remember what that quality is. And so it's like it becomes a moment-to-moment meditation. Another aspect of this, of imagines and the power of it is that each imagine is not an adjective, is a noun. So which means you are taking this word and make it your name. So you take it and turn it into your identity. And so it really goes with the beautiful ancient how do you say? I don't want to say the sentence. How we're gonna call this? You know what I'm talking about. I am that I am.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And that I am, that is your name, and you choose that name as quality. And I'm on patience right now, so it's stepping into that. I am patience. I desire. And when you become that quality, it's not like I'm patient. So it's not like now I'm going to be patient right now because it serves me, but like he doesn't serve me, so I'm not going to be patient, or I have patience, or I don't have patience. So it's not something that you have, or something that the quality of yourself. It actually becomes who you are. Like sun has an identity of sun, and its job is to shine. And it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. Sun does its job because that's what it is.
Yes.
And so the qualities that we're not stepping into, they are actually qualities of our high self. We just didn't work on them. Just like you go to the gym and you work out your body and you work some muscles that you like and ignore muscles that you don't like, and then you feel a little insecure about those muscles that haven't been worked on, and you're trying to cover them up, and for some reason they always show up exactly when you don't want this to show up.
Yeah.
It's that you are not secure about is always going to be right on your face. And you always worry about people noticing it.
Mm.
But so this program allows you to step into the quality that you haven't worked on. So you never again have to feel insecure about it. And another thing is, most of the programs are focused on things like we have results in our life, and that is specific results in my life that I like or I don't like. And if I don't like something or I want more of something, then we say, well, you have to change your habits.
Yeah.
You have to change what you do.
The strategy.
Then you like
Yeah.
a strategy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you try and try and try to change it. I mean, we're going to see this in January when people going to spend massive amount of money on the gym,
Yep.
go for 2 weeks, and then quit. And so we continuously go through this process of trying to establish this new habit and falling off the wagon. And we keep doing this year after year after year after year. And today you're 25, and before you know it, you're 27, and before you know it, you're 35, and then all of a sudden you're 50, and then you're 75, and you're like, what the heck happened? Where did my life go? And just keep trying to change this habits. It's slow, it's hard, and it's so frustrating because you're always missing the mark.
Yeah.
And instead of changing the habits, I teach, don't touch your habits, forget about those habits, just change who you are. Meaning, like, instead of trying to act patient and you're not patient, you're always going to fall back to who you are, because we always live in alignment with who we are. So I teach my clients a formula and I say, I live in alignment with who I am. Yes? Well, whatever you do is in alignment with who you are. And if you're going to try to change your habits, it's not going to be in alignment with. So you always go to what you were before, because that's in alignment with. So instead of trying to actions and habits, change I am. And that you have to identify which qualities you're strong in and which qualities you're not strong in. And that's what Affirmations come into that place that helps you identify. Like you identified nurturing. Before Affirmations, like you didn't even know that nurturing was such a thing for you, right? It was like, you didn't know that. And all of a sudden I was like, wow, I need nurturing. I'm missing that. I didn't even know. And you chose that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, when you chose that and you started stepping into being nurturing, things started really changing.
Yes.
You started taking actions that you haven't taken before. And when you started taking the actions that you haven't taken before, the results in your life started changing.
Right.
And this person showed up in your life all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if you were not nurturing, this person of your dreams wouldn't come into your life.
Right.
You had to become nurturing to welcome that person into your life. And a lot of the times we're missing on those things. And this is exactly what ancient masters, like, this famous guy 2000 years ago, his name was Jesus. He said, like, seek the kingdom of heaven. Everything else will be added on to you. He was smart. So he said, seek the kingdom of heaven, meaning the qualities of your higher self. So when you step into those qualities, then everything else will be added onto you. And you do need to have trust and know that that will happen. However, there is a law, and that law says that you must do things unattached to the results. So if you decide, oh my gosh, this is like great, I want to do this, and you start drinking your water, and you do it for 2 days and you don't see the results, you're like, well, that doesn't work, I don't want to do this. No, you do this practice for the sake of doing the practice. And you have to release attachment to the results.
Well, I love this. I love this a lot because the aspect of affirmations, the aspect of changing habits, what you said is super, super powerful there, that I really want people to get, because it's like, it's so fundamental to life, and it's simple, and people can miss it and then try to make life so complicated in the process in pursuit of achieving their dreams and goals, right? Thinking it's about something that it's really not. The big thing is like becoming that quality, right? It's not an affirmation to affirm that I want to be this because I'm not yet there, because that says that, you know, who you really are, right? Like life has a tendency to take people back, to revert people back to who they really are, versus, you know, how we might want to do a habit. We might want to like stretch ourselves to have the habit of doing whatever it might be, versus being the person with the qualities, and then naturally the habits and the actions and the behaviors fall into place. So I think that's really, really powerful and profound. It's like affirming is not, it's not even affirming, it's being it, it's stepping into it, it's knowing that you're already that you already have that within you. And like you said, with the muscles, which is also super important, we already have these muscles. I already had the muscle of nurturing, you know, being the nurturing that I
Right.
want to see in the world, that I want to represent, that I want in my life. But I didn't recognize it, and I didn't celebrate it, and I didn't feed it, and I didn't work out that muscle of nurturing until I said, okay, I'm going to focus on nurturing. This is who I am. I am nurturing, right? Like I am the noun
Yes.
nurturing, the thing nurturing, right?
Yeah, we'll go like the nurturing. It's
Exactly,
like
the nurturing, the nurturing.
Not just nurturing. I am the nurturing as a noun.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So that is, it's such a powerful distinction, because to just like want to be the adjective or feel nurturing, or, you know, like think that I'm a little bit towards that or whatever, it's not powerful. It's not embodying it. It's not being it. It's not owning it and living it. It's just like clothes, right? It's like putting on clothes, but underneath the clothes, someone's spirit or soul or human body is still whatever it used to be, which a lot of people have baggage and stuff and shame and guilt and
Right.
regret and all this stuff that stops them from recognizing that they are that quality, they are the nurturing, and that's at the deepest
Right.
level. So I really wanted to highlight that, because it's so powerful. It's a different, you know, way of thinking. It's a different paradigm on how to show up in life, mastering these qualities of our greatest possible self.
Right. And plus, in addition to that, in our world today is so distracted. Like, like for example, we have so many tools, right, that we have developed over thousands of years.
Right.
Meditation and yoga, reflections, this and that. I mean, there are lots and lots of tools.
Right.
And those tools are powerful and they work. But they work for people at the time when they were developed.
Yeah.
And we are not taking into the account that even though people, humans today, experience exactly the same emotions, the same problems as they have experienced thousands of years ago, we don't live the same lifestyle as they lived then.
Right.
So, for example, you could, I mean, even 50 years ago, you could sit in meditation and then you go out and you do your own thing, and meditation was very helpful and it was calming and bringing you into the present moment. But today is different, because you open your eyes and your phone beeped a couple of times and you checked your messages and you checked your email and then you went on Facebook and then all of a sudden you have to run because you have to drive someone somewhere else. And I mean, the stuff is like this all the time. It's so fast that it's the most difficult thing today is to actually stay present and remember who we are. We're just so distracted by so much stuff. So this is why Imagines would develop with the idea of drinking water, because no matter what you're going to do, no matter what the world is going to go through, as humans, we will always want to drink water.
Yep.
And when you're going to want to drink that water, you will remember who you are every single time. So instead of just spending your 20 minutes meditating in the morning, and I'm not saying don't do it if you have time. But this is more powerful, because you're not doing 20-minute meditation in the morning and you're done. You're doing meditation all day long. You, like, I'm on patience right now, and that means waking up as patience, pooping as patience, walking as patience, talking as patience, driving as patience. I mean, doing everything as patience. And this morning it was so helpful because these kids in my room that I was speaking to, they were chosen. I'm not kidding. They were chosen to challenge every bit of me.
Oh man.
And they were like, okay, now let's close your eyes. And they're like, I'm not closing my eyes. And I'm like, okay, don't close your eyes. And they're like, whatever, lady. And I'm like, okay, I'm patient, I desire.
Wow.
Just play along with it. So it works at every moment. And I don't know like how much time we have, but I know I have like some important things to share.
Yes.
Why this happened and how this practice evolved, and why another important part of that. So I was coaching skating, right? And I wanted to coach at the Olympics, and I already lost medal, and I was to make sure that was to happen again.
Right.
And I was on the search, and one of the things for a coach don't get picks and goes to the Olympics. So you're that good of a coach to make your students go to the Olympics. And if you can't motivate your student, if you can't motivate your client, then you go nowhere.
Right.
So I know my job that I have to freaking inspire the heck out of my students.
Yes.
How do I do this? So I show them videos of great athletes, and most of my students were younger, they're kids. So I show them a video of an Olympic champion, and they watched us like these kids in this classroom today. Okay, whatever. What else are you going to show me there? I know I can't be that. I mean, people that watch the show, right? Some coaches or whatever, and people inspired by Tony Robbins. You were inspired by Tony Robbins.
Yes.
And you see someone like this huge, and you go like, well, he's great, but who am I? I'm like, I'm never going to be there. How am I ever going to make it there? So my students were feeling this way. It wasn't motivating them. And when they received this gift, I received a video of a 9-year-old boy who was an Olympic champion 15 years later. And now I could show my students, I could show 9-year-old Susie, 9-year-old Zhenya, and what he was doing. And you can relate, right? I mean, if we could watch now Tony Robbins when he was just beginning.
Oh man.
You can be like, you can compare yourself and go like,
I have a shot.
He was I'm on the right track, right? That would be inspiring. So I could show that to my students.
Yeah.
And what I didn't realize at the moment, how he was going to change my life. And the way he did is that at 9 years old, this boy walked and talked the same as when he won the Olympics 15 years later.
Wow.
He was a 9-year-old skinny little kid who couldn't do the tricks that he was doing when he was older. But who he already was that champion when he was 9. As a matter of fact, he never called himself, I'm an Olympic champion. He called himself, I'm the king of ice. And he woke up as king of ice, went to sleep as king of ice, poop, eat, work, talk, whatever, putting the skates on. Every single moment, he practiced living as king of ice. And by the time he was 25, I mean, he's got 15 years of experience practicing being king of ice. He was freaking good. And so when he went on that ice, there was absolutely no question that who he was.
Right.
I mean, they just handed him that gold medal. He didn't even win that gold medal. He just received it. So in that moment, it was like, he didn't become an Olympic champion. He got to be recognized as one. And other people are chasing something, trying to become something. Like I was chasing that dream, and I thought I'm going to become happiness when my student gets that medal and competes at the Olympics. But the truth is, what I practiced was being insecure, unhappy, whatever. And when I received what I wanted. Who received that? The unhappy, insecure person. So just putting that medal around my neck or someone else's neck will not change who you are and will not give you anything you didn't have before. But people think things will change. And I ask kids in school, I'm like, you guys, let me ask you a question. How many of you can't wait to go to high school from middle school? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, how many of you think middle school sucks and things gonna get better in high school? Yeah. I'm like, well, if we went to high school and asked this question, high school kids, what would they say? High school sucks, college is gonna get better. And then when you go to college sucks. When I get the job, it's gonna get better. And then job sucks. When I get married and have children, it's gonna get better. And we don't see it, that we continuously practice being unhappy and we practice hoping that things gonna get better in the future. But as we get older, our future shrinks. Because when you're 20, you have 80 years of future. And when you're 80, you only have 20 years of future. So what happens to hope? It shrinks. So you become better at what you practice. So practice being unhappy. Guess what? You're going to be awesome at being unhappy a few years later.
Wow.
So imagined life allows people to choose who they want to be now in the future. So it allows you to choose your future self and start practicing your future self today, right now, in this moment. And when today, right now, in this moment, you practice this quality, you being this quality, you enjoying being this quality, nothing needs to change for you to be that quality right now. And you're doing things the way you were normally doing them, but you're doing quality. And all of a sudden, one day, maybe a couple of months later, a week later, a year later, you turn around and you go like, how did I do this? Oh my gosh, I am that. And my life is completely different. And I'm having goosebumps just talking about this. I am so freaking passionate about this. It's so
I love it. I love it. I love the analogy or the example of he was the king of ice. He knew he was the king of ice. He woke up, he went to sleep, he ate, slept, and breathed as the king of ice. And then 15 years later, he just received what the king of ice receives. What the king of ice gets and lives, because that's who he was being. And I love how we can be that person. We could even like create an identity for ourselves, quote unquote king of ice, that we want to live into. That's who we're being, and that's what will show up for us. So the king of transformation, the king of media, the king of whatever, or queen of
right now.
Exactly, right now. Like we create that and then live into that, and through doing that we can practice being these different qualities, these nouns, these like aspects of ourselves, and really own that and create that reality. That is beautiful. Wow.
Well, I was like when I decided that I was going to become a speaker, and I was practicing, I'm a world-class speaker.
Yeah.
And people were like, well, you're not a world-class speaker. I never heard of you. I'm like, well, I don't care. I didn't say that I'm world-recognized speaker. I said I'm a world-class speaker.
Yes.
That means, what does it mean being a world-class speaker? It means you wake up, you train, you practice your voice, you practice your speaking, you practice your diction, you walk and talk as a world-class speaker. And I'm going to go on that stage, and I'm going to have 3 people in front of me, and I'll be like, you're pretty good. And then I'm going to have 6 people in front of me, and there's going to be 20 people in front of me. And one day I'm just going to have a chance of stepping on the big stage. And people never heard of me. And they're going to be like, what the heck did you come from?
Yes.
You are natural. I am natural. I've been practicing being that for the last 10 years.
I love it.
But you don't need to receive any of that stuff to experience the life of that world-class being.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does it mean being a world-class being? It's not a huge stage. It's not a big, expensive house, this expensive car, and whatever jewelry. That is not what world-class is about. World-class is about kicking your butt every day, working your ass off, and how you're showing up for yourself when no one sees you is what world class is about. The other stuff that we see on TV, that's just that's just like the icing of the cake. But most people don't see what's underneath that. That's what world class is about. And if you want world class, that's what it's going to take. And it's not about accolades and the stuff that you will receive. As a matter of fact, there are some people that are not world class and they receive that stuff. They get that stuff. And you know what? They're miserable people because they don't have any respect for themselves.
Wow.
Just because you have stuff does not mean anything. I got to experience people that have everything and they're like, not achieved anything. I mean, they're just born into it, and not having any respect for themselves. And I mean, it's just don't look around to see. Oh, I want what someone else has, because what you see, what they have, is just a facade. You don't want the facade. You want who you are. Work on who you are from within yourself. Step into your dharma. Step into your purpose. And our purpose is not to have things. Our purpose is to be who we are in image and likeness of the Creator.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I also wanted to cover that. Like, what does it mean to grow in our divinity, into our divinity? Like, how can we embody that even more? How can we, wrap our heads around that and be that even more?
So embodying your divinity is really about stepping into the qualities of your high self. Or what is high self? You can call high self your best self. You can call your high self as God, a spirit, or the soul. Just like we talked about this earlier, like our physical bodies have physical muscles, our spiritual bodies have spiritual muscles. So we usually say God is love. And I'm not, whatever your association with God is, whatever that is, it's consciousness, universal mind, or in the religious sense, however it is, it doesn't matter. We all have some kind of relationship and concept of that more than what we are.
Right.
And we call that love. God is love. And love is an abstract meaning. So that divinity, the divine powers, the high self, is really a combination of all the imagines, all these qualities, that spiritual body. And so choosing these qualities and stepping into these qualities, being these qualities, is rising your divinity. So in other words, we could say like Christ consciousness. And Christ had like miracles, right? He performed miracles. And he said that we can perform miracles just like he does. But why don't we? Because our consciousness level is lower. It's not pure. We get angry, judgmental, resentful. We become pointing fingers and saying, this makes me unhappy. That person it's that person's fault. It's that event. I mean, in that place, we're not owning who we are and not stepping into our best selves, and we're not seeing through the eyes of the high self. So in other words, no matter what happens in the world, the sun sees through the eyes of sun, and it does what sun does. It shines no matter what's going on. So when you take on the quality, for example, I love success, right? And you'd say, like, people would say, well, I don't have any success. I'm not successful. And when you become success, and we would agree, right, that God, the universal mind, is success and
Yes.
nothing but success.
Yes.
So if you are seeing and judging someone as not successful, oh, like so and so is the loser, and so is success, and I'm the loser, I'm success. You're not seeing what is, because
Wow.
God is success and nothing less than success exists. So if you're seeing anything less than, you're not seeing through the eyes of success. When you start charging your water on emotions and start stepping in into the quality of success, and you start seeing through the eyes of success, then you start realizing that you are a great success at watching TV all day long. Or you're a great success at losing money gambling. Or you're a great success at, a great success at snoozing 50 times before you get up
Yeah.
in the morning. Or you're
Yeah.
great success at procrastination. Or you're great success at being your greatest self.
Yeah.
And you start seeing through the eyes of success, and then you have an opportunity to choose what success do you want to be. Do you want to be success at watching TV, or do you want to be a success at writing amazing emails? You see, you make a choice, and then you can be a success at being a bum, or you can be a success at living your mission. And then you can ask yourself, what's more important to me, success in my mission or success at being a bum? Instead of going, you loser, I can't believe you just, I didn't do anything, or you didn't do anything, and being angry about it, you acknowledge yourself and being like, hey, you have great success at this.
Wow, it's because it's the quality. When we recognize it, we get more of it. And instead of trying to fight off what we don't want, like I don't want to be a loser, so gosh, stop being a loser and get your act together. It's like we're pouring all our energy into loser, being loser, identity loser, which perpetuates it, versus I'm a success, I am success, I am the success that I desire. Where am I success? Where do I show up as success? Well, I'm a success, showing up on the marathon. I'm a success taking notes. I'm a success, I am success when it comes to eating breakfast. I eat breakfast like a champion, right? Like whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, even if you eat bad food, I'm success at eating hamburgers. I'm success at gaining weight. I'm success. I mean, you name anything, success, and you can laugh about it, right? Because you're not putting yourself down.
Yeah.
But you start seeing success, you train your subconscious mind to see nothing but success everywhere.
Right.
So you're not practicing being unhappy. You're actually practicing being success and feeling better. And what happens is what you see, you become. That's the key. Some people think is what you think you become, but actually what you see, you become. Because you see first, and then you think about it. Structure your identity and how you be, see, and experience the world. And the whole practice is drinking water. Cheers. It's so easy.
I love it, Faye. This is a blast. We're having a lot of fun, and we want to begin wrapping it up with the final takeaways, like what you really want our audience to receive from this interview and start taking action on and living in their life.
You asking me?
Yeah. What is the final takeaway, the final thing that we really want to drive home that people will remember forever from this interview?
I want to drive home the fact that whatever you are in your life right now is the result of what you practice. And you need to become crazy aware of every single thing you do, see, and be. And usually people don't pay attention to those little things. And like taking it into skating, people think, well, I come to the rink and I practice, and one day I'm going to become a champion. And while Evgeny Plushenko practiced being king of ice from the moment that he woke up, the way he walked and the way he pooped. But those things we don't pay attention to.
Right.
I usually ask people, what do you do? What are you practicing right now? Okay. And I'm going to ask you this question, Chris. What are you practicing right now?
What am I practicing? As in the being, the quality?
No, I'm just saying, like, what are you practicing right now?
So
Right now.
I'm practicing extraordinary. Being extraordinary in everything I do, right? Like everything I do is extraordinary, is like out of this world, is expansive. It's like big, like it's extraordinary
Right, right now.
right now. Right now.
Okay. Can I challenge you?
Okay.
Right now, you practice sitting down.
This is true. I'm delivering an extraordinary performance interview, though.
That is true. That is, you're talking and you're interviewing me, right? But in this moment,
Right.
we both are sitting down.
Right.
And the way we're sitting down is in congruence with who we are.
Right.
And the way you're sitting down either as extraordinary, as you're saying,
right,
or maybe not. But you can check. Like even right now, when I said that, all of a sudden I could feel like I could actually pull up a little more.
Yeah.
Do you see? So that's how unaware we are of what we practice daily, moment by moment. And this is why it's so important to practice Imagines, because when you actually change that, when you step in and become that quality, you are not thinking how you're walking and talking, because that thing is going to walk and talk on your behalf.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Evgeny Plushenko did not walk and talk as ice think. I'm the king of ice. 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 Already implanted in his mind. He didn't have to, like, every live as Chris and I live as you do Chris. What is like supposed to do? Like, you things as Chris. I already do things as and so on else. So when you change that identity, for a little while, it takes time to like keep on implanting that in and remembering. Right. But soon, this is my quality, and that subconscious mind just takes that on, and you just start being it without thinking. Yeah. That's when it becomes doing without doing. It becomes effortless. That's when all of a sudden everything's going to be added on to you. It's not something from someone, like it's not like someone's going to give it to you. You're actually going to create it without even noticing. Yeah. I want to say that those people that going to opt in on my website today, and we'll put the link. Yes, it's www.imaginedlife. So it's just like this without the path. imaginedlife.com. You have to have www to it. At the top, it says if you watch the Facebook Live today, opt in there. You will receive a link to schedule the session with me one-on-one, and I will do your personal blueprint, and you will know exactly which qualities you actually good at and which qualities you need to bring more front and center in your life. And you'll know the order in which to practice it. I call Earth is a school. Everyone signs up for their own curriculum. There is no dogma. You choose your own life. You design your own future best self. And then, of course, if you choose to get your own Imagines, your own bottle, and get your own kit to practice, that's your optional choice. But at least you'll know this much. So that's what it does. So Imagined Life is really about consciously intentional practice every single moment of the day. I know we've been practicing The Secret. We've heard of Law of Attraction and the power of positive affirmations. I'm sorry to tell everyone here, the affirmations are weak compared to this process, because affirmations just affirm where you are right now, and they don't create any intention. Imagines are designed with the aspiration into the future and with the intention built into it. So there is already an intention and an aspiration. So it allows you to actually live in the purpose of expansion and growth. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to be this. We're supposed to be moving up. So that's what Affirmations are designed to do.
Awesome. Faye, you are a rock star. If there's anything else, let us know. And hey, everyone stay connected with Faye. She is a powerhouse. I'm definitely going to be supporting her and working with her to continue sharing this message of I Imagine. She is an incredible, incredible powerhouse and rock star and force of love in the world. So Faye, thank you for what you do. And definitely go to imaginelife.com, opt in for that free blueprint. It will help you. It will empower you. It will change your life if you choose to apply it and live it. And Faye, thank you so much for what you do. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you and grateful to be here with you. Chris, you're changing the world.
Thank you.
It's you.
Thank you so much, Faye. I love you. I'll see you soon, okay?
Yes.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.